Thanks guys for joining. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started. Let's see. All right. Everyone able to see this full screen? Cool. I guess I can't full screen it. 1 second. I'll do my screen. There we go. Okay. Welcome to Build a Booking AI Agent. It's going to be an app based on MindStudio. We're going to walk through what agents are and how to build it and get excited about this new opportunity. So my name is Mark Fulton. I'm a prompt engineer and solopreneur. Just launched Reinventing AI. It's my new initiative for like cutting edge AI training. We're talking about AI agents, building assistants, and creating AI tools and applying that to practical marketing strategies. So I've previously done the Ultimate AI course. I have a company called AGI Layer, which is a automation layer for ChatGPT. Smart SEO is auto blogging done for you service, and Smart GPT is a suite of prompting tools. So what is an AI booking agent? Essentially, this is something that you can book meetings with, schedule appointments, and it's intended to gain leads for your business. So essentially what the core concept is, the agent will check your availability on Calendly or Google Calendar and then suggest meeting times for your clients or customers or potential leads. The benefits of an AI booking agent. So I really like the fact that it's a guided user experience as opposed to sending someone to your Calendly booking link. They look at a bunch of dates. They don't really have, it's an old way of thinking type. I mean, it's still effective, but this is something unique and innovative that kind of has that draw. In addition, you're able to collect more data from the user with onboarding questions as opposed to a traditional booking sign up form. You just get their name, email, and date. So with this, you're able to ask additional questions, which can be extremely valuable, especially when you're generating additional content or lead magnets as part of the workflow. You can use that data within your ChatGPT requests and generate personalized things for your clients and customers. So this also saves time for you and the customer because it's a really seamless, quick process. The agent is kind of a concierge for you. And then it's fully automated. That's what's saving you, the owner, some time. And if you could mute your audio, please. Thank you. And so agent recommendations, book demos for your service, promote discovery calls for new leads. So for example, you could build like a survey as part of this booking agent, ask a few questions, and like I said before, you can generate unique and valuable and personalized content. So you can also use this as kind of a knowledge-based agents, which is what people have traditionally been doing with the RAG chatbot, RAG functionality, retrieval augmented generation. So your documents, your knowledge, your website content, whatever. This can be a combination chatbot, knowledge-based agent, plus an appointment scheduler. So that makes it even more unique. So you can combine features and functionality with this scheduling agent. And obviously you can schedule it for appointments or service. Instead of just demo booking, say you have a repeatable service that you provide monthly or weekly, you can have this dedicated booking agent for your clients where they can go in and schedule these appointments easily. And the really cool thing about MindStudio, the app we're going to build, is that it saves previous bookings, previous conversations. So it has like a history log. and it's personalized to the user. You can also set it up so if it is a repeatable type service, or like a private membership where you book a meeting every week or month, you could also set the onboarding questions to just be onboarding. And what that does is allow you those details to be stored so they don't have to enter them every single time. All they have to do is pick a date, and it remembers their name, their email, etc. Surveys or lead magnet delivery. So like I said, you can do like a quiz, a survey, a preparedness report or analysis. The sky's the limit with ideas or potential use cases. And this could also boost your bookings if people get involved, they're answering questions, they're going to be more inclined to schedule a meeting. So the AI agent tech stack that we'll be working with is Calendly, which is a great Zoom call booking meetings software. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it already. Google Calendar, MindStudio, and optionally Zapier. Zapier, then what you can do with Zapier is have additional automation workflows occur after the call booking. You can send this data over to Zapier. And then this is essentially what our workflow is going to look like. I'll get into it in detail shortly. So we're going to have the user inputs. We're going to have Calendly fetch the availability. In this step, we're going to identify the day of the week, which is, I'll tell you why is important shortly. And then in this step is the agent system prompt that makes it all work and where the magic happens. And it generates a nice link for Calendly for them to confirm a booking. So where do you use these agents? They can be implemented many places. The most obvious would be embedded on a website. You can have it as a dedicated application within your dashboard or your company website or behind a payment wall or a subscription. Or you can send a direct link to your agent with MindStudio if you don't mind it just being a full screen interface. You can just send a direct link. You can link this in an ad or a landing page. You can put it in your bio or create a QR code to book a meeting. Just some ideas. It's really versatile. So let's get started and we'll go through MindStudio and show you how to build this thing. First, I want to show you a demo of what we're going to be building. So it is basically, this is embedded on my website. It's a book a demo agent. This is the onboarding welcome message you'll be able to create. Users will have their thread history here if they've done the booking before. Otherwise, it'll come to this screen immediately. So the user enters their name, email, and in the background, it's checking our availability. It's grabbing the day of the week. It's identifying which meetings and times we already have booked up and are taken. And then it's providing recommendations for the next available appointments here. And then the user can say anything Thursday at 3 p.m. And it will schedule a booking appointment with their time, with their name pre-filled, with their email pre-filled at the correct time. So they're Thursday, 3 p.m. So pretty sweet, pretty convenient for the user. And this is built with MindStudio. All right. Let me double check. All right. Sorry about that. So let's get into MindStudio. This is the main dashboard screen of your app. So when you build an app, you'll come to this screen. Let me go through the general, like the overview of MindStudio, just a quick run through of all the details. So this is your your main name, description, global settings. This is where your onboarding is configured, the onboarding welcome message, or any data inputs that you want to collect up front that will be saved to be used every conversation. You can set your icons and media. You can adjust your style and branding. This is a premium feature. You will need to upgrade to adjust the style and branding and embed as well. There's sharing settings you can access. You can make it public or private. And you can also remix, which I'm going to allow you guys to remix this after the call. I'll send you a link and you'll be able to copy this exact agent and get started right away. It'll have all the prompts and functions and everything. You just make your own copy and adjust it as you need. And then you can go in and learn on your own time and own pace how it works and configure it and everything. But I'll walk through each step of it as well. And then here's your embedding section options. All right, so this is the main workflow page where you just define the steps one by one. And our first one is going to be to collect user. So you just hit a plus button, and then these are the selection options you have. You can send a message. You can ask for user input data. You can query your knowledge base if you want to make this a knowledge base retrieval augmented generation bot, chat bot. You can run custom functions, which they have several community functions you can select from. Airtable, Calendly, Discord, get requests. It's very versatile. Zapier's in here. So you can explore and experiment with these custom functions, or I'll kind of hint at how you can create your own later as well. So first step, user input. We're gonna just grab the name and email. So you can add a user input with this plus button, or you can delete one minus. So if you just create new, you can select short, long. So we selected short text, name, etc. You can customize the design, add an image, etc. So and make it more user friendly, better user experience. If you want to go above and beyond, you can do that. And then back to our main workflow, these user inputs, you can add or delete them there. So for this one, we obviously need name and email primarily. You can ask for more information as well. So for Calendly, you will need to go to Calendly and get your, you just follow this link here and get your personal access token, and you'll paste that token here. You can get that directly from your Calendly account, and it's a free API service. So we're going to take these are automatically pre-filled for you. So what it's going to bring back is the dates that you're available and the events that you're booked, and then the booking link base URL. And all three of these variables are going to be important when we send a message to ChatGPT to schedule our booking link, which you'll see shortly. And in this next step, I was able to create a custom function using some help with ChatGPT. I'll admit I didn't know how to write this myself, but what I did was go to functions, and I looked at the example configuration, the default example function, copied that code, pasted it into ChatGPT, and said, hey, I need a function for this, essentially. Sorry, I'm going to delete this one and show you where that is at. So if you go to run function, browse community functions, and you go to, where is it? There's one that's like an example. I'm not sure, but I'll add it after the fact. There's just an example function, and you can paste that into ChatGPT and basically ask it to write JavaScript code for your own function, and it will do that. So for this function, all I'm doing, here it is. All I'm doing is grabbing the date and I'm converting it into the string of the day of the week. So the reason I'm doing this is because ChatGPT and large language models really struggle with certain types of data. Um, it can get lucky, it can get close. I've noticed that for some reason the uh, midday, the weekends, it struggles with the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for some reason, identifying those days of the week. So to avoid any um, problems or issues that may occur, or hallucinations rather, with the day of the week, we're going to use JavaScript to make sure that we get the right day of the week, to provide that to our agent so the agent knows what day it is currently. And that's important to make it all work smoothly. So this is just a little custom function. All it does is returns the day of the week, and that will appear in our next function, which is the final, basically the agent system prompt on how it will generate this booking appointment, the user flow, etc. And because it's so small, I put it over here in bigger so we can more easily read this. So essentially, this is the instructions for the agent to create the booking link. And so what we're doing is, actually, I should mention this. So yeah, we have these these are variables that we can now call in our prompt. So you can see dates, events, booking link. So what we're doing is we can call these variables with two curly brackets, and then the variable name. We can call that within any prompt, any series of prompts. So what we're saying to the agent is the following dates and times are available. The following events are already scheduled, and it's going to print this out, to the LLM. Today is, I think I changed this to the week, day of the week, and today's day of the week and current date. All right. So this is actually a default variable that comes by default with every MindStudio app. You can call current date and it will provide you current date. Unfortunately, it does not provide the day of the week, hence the custom function to get the day of the week. And this is important to get the bookings accurate. So we're telling the agent now in step one, we want to display the upcoming time slots. And I did some experimentation testing with this, and I found that sometimes it would mention the time slots that were already booked, and that's not a good user experience. So we want to make sure that we tell it do not mention the currently booked time slots at all. Just show the available time slots in a well-formatted markdown list. And that's what we get with this agent. And then so step two for the agent is create a Calendly booking link in the appropriate format for their chosen time and date. So ask the user which available time they would prefer, and then wait for their response. This is important, an important instruction. You want to make sure that you instruct the agent to wait for their response before creating anything. We're going to provide them the user's name and email using these variables. And then now we're going to explain to the agent how do we build this link, which this is the text that we're going to have as the anchor text. And then this is how we're explaining to the agent, this is how we format our Calendly link. So all you would have to change in your workflow is this Calendly URL right here. You would just need to make sure that that is your base URL. You can have this variable added automatically, actually. which would be this booking link variable, would be booking link. It would work like that. Actually, this as well. So it would work like that as well, or you can just manually add your URL. But this variable right here is your Calendly based URL. So this would actually work because that would fill it in with your URL, or you can put it manually. I just put it manually. I probably should update that. I may update that shortly. And then step 3, we're going to provide a thank you message, and you can personalize this as well. Invite them to your business or whatever step you want to take. Step 3 could be whatever next step you want to take for the booking agent, and or another call to action. So that is essentially it for building your agent. So you set up the variables. Oh, I forgot to go over onboarding. So onboarding, it is a bit of a learning curve navigating MindStudio, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. One thing that's not very intuitive is clicking here on this top level here, because that gets you to all these main settings, which are important, and it's not very intuitive to know that you have to click there. So your main flow, and then this is your onboarding. So we created an onboarding element called welcome, and essentially this is not a, so we selected display. So you can ask a question, get user feedback, all types of different things, have them upload a file, upload an image, etc. Whatever you want to do, you can then later reference these onboarding questions in your prompt workflows. For this example, we're having an onboarding display, which looks nice. So we select display. The variable doesn't really matter because we're not going to call that. And then, you can just design your display, upload an image, text, and body, and have like a nice splash page for your agent. So that's the onboarding. You can do data sources to create a knowledge base agent. So you would upload, provide your name, description, upload any type of file, PDF, Excel, spreadsheet, HTML, etc. And then you can reference that in your workflow by selecting query data in any workflow step. So yeah, so for example, if you wanted to continue an automation, you could send another message, generate some type of lead magnet or some type of personalized content or whatever, based on your user inputs, etc. after the meeting booking, if you like, or you could run a custom function and then select Zapier, for example. And then in Zapier, you can create a webhook fairly easily, a webhook trigger, and then just paste that trigger here. Set a variable name. I'm sorry. Text into the webhook. Yeah. So this string can be a string. Okay, I thought for some reason I read can't, and it freaked me out. So yeah, you put your variable here, whatever data you want to send to Zapier. So this may be helpful as well. Another tip would be to send a message, and then you can have your variables all here. And then what you can do is, doesn't matter the names, you can assign an output to a variable. So we can say all data. So we can have all these variables, and then do something with them with a model, you could say like summarize the info, have our variables here, and then we can assign this output to a variable. Instead of displaying this GPT result to the user, what we're going to do is assign it to a variable on the back end, which is called all data. And then, for example, we can send all data to Zapier in a webhook if you wanted to continue to do an automation like that. That's a super useful technique, is instead of displaying, assigning an output to a variable, and then using that in useful ways on down the workflow. So that's, but yeah, this is ours, essentially the workflow for the booking agent. That will get you this result here. The user can, if you have onboarding questions, not only will this show, but it will have the additional onboarding questions here that they can edit if they need to in the future. Let's see. Is there anything that people would like me to go over on as far as the MindStudio walkthrough? Any questions about MindStudio? Feel free to shoot. Either in chat or voice, it's fine. Totally.
I'm just curious about what information would you include in the upload area, like in the documents that you would, the option to upload. What would you share? I mean, what would you, if the point is to book? I'm just trying to think of a use case. Like, what would I share that process?
Yeah, for a booking agent, I don't know if you necessarily would need this, but
okay,
obviously for a knowledge base, if you wanted to have an agent that could also answer questions about your business, say it books an agent and then it says, do you have any questions about our company? Do you want to keep chatting? Or vice versa, you can start with the knowledge base and then you can guide them to the booking agent. So what you would want to upload is maybe a database of all your products, title, description, and a link to their landing page, or your services. Describe all your services, maybe copy all the data from your website.
Yeah, I was just curious about how you would pivot to that within the booking. You know what I mean? Within that booking session, or even if it makes sense to do that.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean? Like how would you introduce that option there?
I got you. Yeah. So what you would want to do is query data, and then you would have your data source here. Select a variable. Max results 3. You can, I don't know why. I haven't done this much, I'll admit. But yeah,
you can table it for later. That's fine. It was just a thought that came up is when you.
This is the process for, so once you have the data, you would select the query data source option, and this is your prompt. So yeah, so you would use this data1 variable, analyze this data, and provide recommendations for the person's name and how it could benefit their business, or you know, how our services, and if it knows about your services, here's our details, and then you would have data1 here. So that's how essentially it would look for querying your data. If you named it data1, you can increase the results. These are just I guess it goes up to 5, and the reason being is there's token limitations. So what it will do is it will identify the 5 best closely related chunks of data from your knowledge base, and then it will use that as context here. So that's how you would do that. There would be some creative ways you could incorporate that, I imagine, into a booking agent. Yep, good question.
Thank you.
Let's see, we got some chat. Thanks for coming, Mill. Query your email client or platform, query and sync with your email client. So for now, this is integrate. It's possible to integrate with Calendly and Google Calendar to check your availability. I'm not sure what you mean by query sync with your email platform, but likely that's not an option like available. What you would want to do is what we're relying on for this automation is Zoom connected to Calendly, and once that's done, the process is automated. So once the user books on Calendly, Zoom already automatically sends the invite for you. So I don't really think you need to connect to your email client.
Was he was asking about email, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's probably easier done in Zapier.
Yeah.
Right. Send a call over to, or create a webhook in Zapier to, do XYZ with your email.
Oh, okay. I kind of see.
And then send the data there, get a result back from the email, and then use it in the use it in the process.
Yep, I would agree. Yeah, you could, yeah, that's a good idea. So if you wanted to do like a series of follow-up emails, that's a great added feature. So for example, you could send a reminder email. That would be really cool. So you could take that email, take the date, and send that to Zapier, the booking date. And then I think it would be, you would need 2 steps. So you would need to send a new message and then have the LLM output the nice pretty date of the booked meeting, and you would need to save that as a variable. So you would say, please repeat the date booked in a nice format, something along those lines. And then, or you could even provide the format. And then you would say, just respond with the date and no other commentary. So, and then we would select assign to variable, and we could say pretty date or booked date or whatever, and then send that to Zapier. Name, email, booked date. That information will go to Zapier, and you can go wild with that and send email follow-ups or whatever you like. And that could be powerful as well, especially if you're collecting more data from the user, like their preferences or their needs or their goals, etc. Is there any means for MindStudio to convert or automate a GPT from ChatGPT? Yes. So you can absolutely take a GPT system prompt and bring it right over to MindStudio, and like paste it right in the system prompt here. It's a different user experience. There are some limitations. There's some benefits. It would be, I don't know if I would recommend it for every case, but some cases it would be ideal. You could white label, you could essentially have a white labeled custom GPT that is much more versatile and integrates with other, these custom functions and user onboarding, saved conversations. So there's a lot of benefits to MindStudio in doing that, and it's very simple to do. You would literally just paste your custom GPT system prompt in the workflow, and then personalize your user's experience. And essentially, you wouldn't need any steps for a replication of a custom GPT, all you would need is the chat, the typical system chat, and your system prompt, which you would paste here under the main prompt workflow, which I think I forgot to mention earlier. This is the primary system prompt for the booking agent. It's very simple. It's just providing today's date, which is provided in every MindStudio app. And then it says, you are here to help guide the user to book a demo. But the main workhorse prompt is that final message to do all the steps properly. This is the main workhorse prompt, and this is the overall system prompt.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that I was going to mention when he asked about copying things from ChatGPT is that ChatGPT has a bunch of data pre-pended every time you send a request. So, you're not going to get exactly the same result unless, you pre-pin the same, default data that OpenAI is using.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the model that you're using. I'm not sure which tech. Are you talking about their system prompt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the results may be different than ChatGPT. You would be able to select your. I didn't go over model settings either, which I should have. So MindStudio has tons of great models, which is one of the great perks of this. So you can select the underlying model, and you additionally, each step you can change the model as well. So I mean, I obviously recommend GPT-4 Turbo. It's the best logical reasoning right now, but there are other great models. I imagine they'll add Llama 3 shortly, Claude 3 as well. And so yeah, so each step you can select your model as well, and you can have different models for each step.
Also, you'll probably have to update the temperature. I don't think it starts at 7.
Yes, that's correct. I like to do 0.7 to have a little bit of creativity, so it's not so cold and structured responses all the time. And that's the default setting on ChatGPT public as well, 0.7. A lot of people use 1. I prefer to use 0.7. It's a personal preference. You can try both out. They're fairly close. 0.7 would be slightly more creative. Or I'm sorry, it's the opposite. 0.1 or 1 would be very creative. 0.7 would be slightly more structured. Sorry about that. Yeah, I like to use 0.7. Any more questions? We got to check. Can you reshare the prompt? So yeah, I'm going to be sharing this entire app with you. So what I'm going to do is send everyone the link where they can clone. You can clone this app, and you'll get this in your MindStudio account. So you can get started today if you like, customizing this and building it. If you want this nice, easy to read document, I can include that as well, of the system prompt with this updated variable here. But yeah, I also didn't go over the details of the link. So this is an example time. This is just an example link from a booking link. It's just, we're kind of explaining what the structure of the link looks like. And also, yeah, that should work fine. So this example link of how to input the dates. And then this is a feature that's not natively normally added to Calendly links, even by Calendly themselves. But I was able to figure out that these variables actually get autofilled, and it saves the user 2 steps, which is really incredible. So we're able to define the name and email for the user by adding these query strings. So it makes it super easy. and smooth experience. Thank you, Wendell. I appreciate the feedback. So yeah, I'll be sharing everything. Thanks you guys for joining. This is my first in a series of webinars that I'll be doing. The next one is building an AI mind map generator, which I'm super excited about because it's a technique that I personally discovered and kind of honed in ways to use it in an automation workflow or just as your personal mind map generator. So we're using a modern LLM to generate mind map accurate and advanced mind map code to it's really cool. I'll share more details about it soon this coming week, but that's next Saturday. So my accelerator, if you're interested, it comes with all these bonuses. So you get access to my course, you get a Smart GPT membership to use all my prompting tools, you get to join the community, and then there's a bunch of other perks. You get a call with me, custom GPT agent library. I'm going to share my whole tech stack that I use all the time. Rarzi membership if you want to generate some SEO articles for free. That's a tool that I created as well. But you can check out reinventing.ai, check that out. I really appreciate you guys joining. Thanks so much. If there's no final questions, I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And if you will stay tuned, everything will be uploaded to the members login website. You'll be able to watch this replay. Thanks, guys.